Hi, everyone. I'm Cathy Utzschneider, and I am host of Finding Your New Starting Line, founder of the Move Goal Achievement Method. And at the Move community, within that, we're always interested in finding new starting lines, taking on new goals. So I'm here today with Carolyn Weed. Carolyn, welcome.
Hi. Well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Really, really fun. So I met Carolyn through a colleague, and she can tell the details, but she was a tennis player. And she then has become a pickle player and has been on the senior pro circuit uh,
Mhm.
after
Yeah.
being 50. She's now 53. And
Yeah.
Carolyn, there's so many people who wonder, should I take up pickle? I've been a racket player or I haven't been a racket player, but I'd love you to share your story. So start where you'd like.
Okay. Well, to answer your question, yeah, I think everyone should try pickleball. It is one of the fastest growing sport in America, or so they say. And I can see why there's so much about it that I absolutely love. As a former tennis player, pickleball for me was a sport that I could try, and I kind of poo-pooed it for a long time and thought, like, kind of looked down on it, like, what is this silly thing? Until I tried it and then was instantly in love with it. The tennis background certainly helps you be proficient very, very quickly. There's a lot that translates from tennis to pickleball, but then the hard work starts, the that are unique to pickleball that become that new challenge. And, that's the part that I loved is finding something new at my age that, was mentally and physically challenging. And I could see progress, from each session that I went to. And then the social side of it, it has opened up my world socially and traveling wise and competitively, and it's just been nothing but positives, honestly. So if they're even at all thinking about it, get out there, try, just go out with a friend, go to an open play session in your local club or something like that. It's, you won't regret it. I've never met anybody who went to pickleball and said I hated it and I'm never going back.
That's what I've heard too. So what got you sort of to step on the pickle court? Because you were playing tennis and
I was playing USTA league tennis at the 4.5 level at the end. I was a singles player. My husband's uncle actually had been playing pickleball for quite a long time and was raving about it. And my USTA season ended, and I had, unbeknownst to me at the time, I had torn my meniscus, and was tennis was challenging. So I decided this is great. My local rec department was offering a session, and I showed up at open play, and I was welcomed and basically got a private lesson. And they very quickly said, you need to go play somewhere else because you're above the level that we have here. So, yeah, that's how I started. I just tried it out. And I think after that first session, I think I played tennis 6 times that next summer, and I have never gone back.
wow, wow, wow. And what advice do you have for people who might be thinking about it? What is the best way? Is the best way just to go to public courts? And then what surprises might people experience? Um,
Well, I think depending on your personality, because we had a little bit of a conversation about that, what your goals are and what your,
yeah.
your type of personality. I'm a fairly competitive person, so for me, doing a sport purely recreationally didn't last for very long. um, but if you are just new to athletics, pickleball is one of those sports that you can pick up. And I actually was hitting with my 81-year-old godmother this weekend. I traveled up to Canada to compete and stayed at her house, and she was like, I would love to learn. So we went out and we played for half an hour, and she was actually quite good. I was like, I'm impressed, Mattel. But it's something that even someone with no racket sport background or really any athletic background can be decent. Like you can go and take a few lessons and be able to rally and have fun with friends. So yeah, I mean, I would recommend it to anyone. And if you are more of a competitive type person, then there are opportunities to take clinics and play leveled open play sort of things. And you can find the level of challenge that you're looking for in this sport.
Well, it
It's so
sounds
broad.
like you can ramp up pretty quickly if you've had, a tennis background.
You absolutely can. I mean, it's one of those sports that, the kind of the saying is, it's a very low entry. It's easy to start and it's hard to master. So a lot of people coming in get very good pretty quickly. And then, the hard work of being yeah, everybody it seems like everybody thinks this when they come into the sport that they're going to turn pro because it looks so simple. And you realize like any other sport that, there are really a lot of nuances to it that are, more challenging than that. But with a racket sport background, a lot of players can definitely get very, very good very quickly.
And what are
The
the
league
sorry, the more challenging fine points or skills that people think, oh yeah, this is so easy, but it's really not so easy. Is it
It's really not. Well,
the
one of the unique
angles
things
or what?
about, yeah, one of the unique things about pickleball is the area, the non-volley zone, which a lot of people call the kitchen. Learning how to use that area to your advantage is one of the more nuanced sort of things. As a tennis player, I came in and the sport itself has evolved quite a bit, even in the 6 years I've been playing. The style of play has changed, particularly at the higher levels.
How
When
has
I
the
came in,
style changed? How has the
well,
changed?
when I started playing, it was more the traditional slow. You drop the ball, third shot drops into the kitchen, and you just dink, dink, dink all day long until somebody misses. And anybody that hit the ball hard and drove it like a tennis player was really kind of frowned upon, and called a banger, and it was an insult at the time. But now with the changes in paddle technology, it's really becoming a lot more like tennis. That first offensive strike is a lot of the times a drive now. So similar to a tennis ground stroke. And you still need to be able to dink. You still have to have a short game and be able to control that kitchen area. But we're now able to drive things and keep it in play. Unlike 6 years ago when I started. So, the style of play has changed. It's actually become more tennis like. So all the things I was told not to do when I started are now the things that are, in vogue and the people are encouraging. So I'm like, yes, I'm finally free to do what I want to do.
And speaking of that, you're a mom, right? You have two daughters and you
I
work out.
am.
And how many hours do you spend? You work in a school system,
I
right?
do. I am a wellness teacher at Hudson High Schools. I have been there for 28 years. So yeah, from September through June, I'm pretty busy. Full-time teaching, and I do have two adult daughters now. They're both out of the house. So when they went to college, that freed up a lot of my time, which coincided with me getting really into pickleball quite a bit. My husband is incredibly supportive of me going off and traipsing off all over the country and to other countries to play this silly little sport. Um, so it is hard to balance, but where there's a will, there's a way. So I work full time, so I'm probably teaching 36 to 40 hours, and then I I'll do a drill session with. I've got a great support crew of friends that help me drill or practice with. So uh, easily 5 to 6 days a week, I'll be on a pickleball court
Oh,
after work or
what,
on the
2 hours,
weekends.
3 hours, or
Usually about 2 hours at a time.
okay.
Sometimes on weekends we double up and we do double sessions, like back in the old school, high school double sessions, preseason sort of stuff. But I have. I'm very fortunate to be surrounded by a great group of friends and peers that are equally obsessed with the sport and looking. We have similar goals, and we are all there to support each other and help each other get better. So I that's probably the best part of the sport for me is the people I've met and the friendships that I've formed, and that support. that support crew, like I couldn't do it without my village.
Love it. Can you tell, just to be specific, one terrific fun memory that you've
Mhm.
had or experienced? You probably have had many of them, but you
Right.
travel all over, you go away with your friends. I love the fact that your husband says, "Oh, see you later,
See you
Carolyn."
later.
Uh, Great
What time
support.
am I
That's
picking you up
great.
at the airport?
Yeah. Yeah. And I bet that's pretty common. Would you say that more people are playing with significant others, or more people are playing and their partners are not, their partners
Oh,
are
I
playing?
honestly, I don't know. I
Yeah.
can't think of a single um, couple that actually successfully play together.
I believe it. I believe
Um,
it.
we have a lot of couples that play pickleball, but not together. you know?
Right.
So they're
Yeah.
they're supportive. I just think of my friends Roseanne and Eric, and
Yeah.
they literally travel the country in an RV, going from tournament to tournament, and
Mhm.
they both enter all these brackets and events separately.
Yeah,
um, but
I
it works
believe
for
it.
them. They're loving it. So.
And
uh,
how often do you play tournaments?
Um, it depends, but I would say on average, probably one a month or one every 6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Uh, last year I was on a senior pro team on the National Pickleball League, and that competition was once a month, where we would be traveling to like Kansas City or Houston, Texas, or and be gone all weekend. So that was all consuming last year. So I cut back on what I was doing tournament wise, but I was not selected for a team this year. So it really freed up my calendar. So now I'm picking and choosing which tournaments I want to go to, and who I want to play with. And just came back from Montreal, Canada, and my partner and I, won gold in the mixed doubles senior pro event. So yeah, it's been fun. It's been
So what
fun.
does it mean to be pro? You get free rackets, or what is that?
Um,
What do they give?
well, it
Huh.
depends. There is prize money
Yeah.
if you win.
Yeah.
The entry fees are higher, so you can recoup that if you win. If you don't, then you're just guaranteed to play against some really high level people. I am fortunate enough to be sponsored by Engage Pickleball Paddles, so they provide me with free paddles, which is fantastic. But otherwise, I don't know of anyone, even the top level senior pro players, that are earning their living strictly off of um, prize money. But a lot of the top pros are also teaching professionals, and they're running camps, and they do make a living in pickleball, but not necessarily off of tournament prize money yet.
What and how do age groups go up indefinite? I mean, how high do they go
Oh
up?
my gosh, yes. At the amateur level, they just go up and up and up. There's more younger age groups now.
Yeah.
So before it used to just be the cutoff would be like 25 and under. And now we're seeing kids in there, which is fantastic. But if you go to a major tournament there, the US Open, for instance, in Naples, Florida, is the largest pickleball tournament in the world. It happens every April, and they have age brackets. I believe they go every 5 year increments up to 80, 85. And those players are absolutely amazing to watch.
Wow.
Uh, yeah.
Wow. So
Yeah.
what's your next tournament? And yeah.
My next event is a tryout, actually, a combine for a senior professional league that is starting up this year. So I'll be going to Virginia to compete in the combine, get
Cool.
seen by ownership groups, and hopefully
My
get
dogs are
selected.
barking and we'll let them bark. It's okay. They're
That's okay.
I'll
That's
open the
okay.
door.
But
Okay. Keep going.
yeah. So yeah, that it's going to be a great experience. The 12 new ownership groups are going to be there scouting and watching all the players, and taking notes and deciding who they might want to draft and select to their team. So I'm hoping to be one of the lucky few.
So how often do they have these tryouts for pro teams?
Right now there's one established senior professional league, which is the National Pickleball League.
Right.
They do a tryout once a year. They're in their third year of existence. So they've done tryouts in February and March.
Okay.
This new league is starting up, so this will be their first time doing that. So it's a once a year thing, and then if you get selected to a team, you compete once a month for 4 months, and then championships, and hope to make some money and have some
So the
fun meeting
season
people.
goes all year long? I'm sorry, last
Um,
question. Yeah.
well, it can. So the league, the team seasons, like MPL is 6 months out of the year.
Okay.
This new league is going to be 4 months out of the year, with a
Okay.
little bit of overlap. But tournament season there, it's year round. You
Yeah.
could find a tournament every weekend if you wanted to now. Unlike when I started, it was, New England was pretty sparse with the number of tournaments that they had.
Mhm.
But it's now for real, if you wanted to play every weekend, fairly close by, you could. It's just become so saturated, and there's so many people coming into the sport. It's really great to see.
Thank you so much. Is there
You're
any
welcome.
one word of, I guess, advice to someone who's thinking, pickleball is just not tennis. It's not a skill oriented. You hear that sometimes. Or, oh, I'm going to get injured. Like,
Um,
you know.
it is different than tennis. As a lifelong tennis player, it is certainly different,
Mhm,
but that's the beauty of it, in
mhm.
my opinion. It is different. There's, as much as I love tennis, I had really kind of maximized my skill there. At my age, 47 with a knee injury, I really was not going to become, significantly better at singles. So switching to pickleball just gave a whole new mental and physical challenge. And it is not as easy as it looks. You can't just go out there and get by on athleticism alone. You have to have skill. I sometimes, will describe it as playing tennis after a while just sort of was more like checkers. Like there are established patterns
Oh,
that you do.
interesting.
And pickleball is more like chess. Like it's more, you really do have to strategize a lot more. And you have to have control over your shots a lot more because it is so small. Like you're very close together, and your reaction time has to be fast, because if you pop it up, you better be able to defend. So yeah, I just say just give it a try. It looks silly, it sounds silly, it's noisy. Um, Everybody and their brother seems to be playing, but there's a reason that they're out there, and it's just a lot of fun. But yeah, and if anybody's thinking of taking the sport seriously, go for it. Like I never in my wildest dreams thought I could ever call myself a professional athlete, and let alone do it at 53 years old. I mean, who does that, right?
Carolyn
And
Reed.
yeah, and I get to go out there and compete against people. I mean, I'm not a top level senior pro player by far. Like, of course not, but I get to go on the court against these players sometimes, and and I'm playing against former Wimbledon, singles players, and um, Heisman Trophy winners, and professional baseball players. And I'm like, what am I doing on this court? I mean, Yvonne Lendl is playing, the man I played mixed doubles with this weekend, partners with Yvonne Lendl in men's, so is this my life for
Not to
real?
love.
I know. And, I honestly, when decided I was going to try this big, scary thing last year, that I was actually going to say, I'm trying out to be a professional athlete. I worked with your colleague, Brian, and, part of that was figuring out why. Like, why am I doing this? Why now?
Mhm.
And, for me, a big part of it was I wanted to set an example for my children, for my daughters. I have two, you know, young women that I want to raise to be confident and, able to go for big, bold, scary things. And, hopefully seeing me try to do this silly little sport has inspired them in some way and given them the confidence to try hard things.
Who wouldn't want to try something new and be in a situation with Yvonne Lendl and
Oh my
all
gosh.
these other pros? How fun!
Yeah, it's
Great way to
amazing.
reinvent, to make the most out of every stage of life. So thanks for
Absolutely.
inspiring us, Caroline.
Well, thank you for
Carolyn,
having me. It's been a
appreciate it a lot.
pleasure chatting with you.
Yeah, really fun
Thanks.
and all best.
Yes. And when you're ready to play, Cathy, I'll take you out there.
Aw, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
I'm
All right.
psyched.
Very good.